GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
It is Wednesday, the 9th day of November, 2011. We're going to be live here, Lord willing, for the next 3 hours. And then back this evening, 7 o'clock Central, for InfoWars Nightly News. And we've got Michael Badnarik, former Libertarian presidential candidate, joining us. Always an informative and thought-provoking interview. He will talk about world events and news and take your phone calls. And in the last 30 minutes, Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, who hadn't been on with us in a few months, will join us to talk about the debt crisis and what's happening in the economy, obviously. Later in the hour, I've seen national television and listened to radio promoting the federal anti-bullying bill, saying, have a heart, you don't want kids to be bullied. This is nothing more than the hate crimes law that they haven't been able to pass, to federalize basically everything and to have pure federal curricula inside all public schools and to make it federal if somebody calls you a name. And it's all selectively enforced, too. I mean, I got beat up a lot and stuff when I was in public school, and it wasn't because of sexual persuasion or even race. It was just because that's what people do. That's part of life. Government bullies. You need to get strong and stand up for yourself, not, oh, feds, when you're not running checkpoints on my local highway that are illegal and bullying us. Will you come stop bullying in the school? And I was thinking about all these news reports now about microphones going up all over the country. And one company's been bragging about their federal contracts, so it's gotten some attention. This has been going on for 13 years that I know. And that's why they had the head of Homeland Security in one region come out, and it's in the news report, we're going to play a clip later, and say, if Charlotte, what North Carolina does put the microphones in these that we put up, you'll never know. And that was like whenever the Austin police chief was in here, who, by the way, came up to our camera crew a few weeks ago and said, I want to come on Alex's show. I haven't heard from him. We've been calling his office over and over again for years to get him on. So, Arte Saveda, you want to come in here tomorrow? Come on. Get down here. Okay? He did give me his cell phone number and his card, and I lost it. But the point is, I've been calling his office. So they're gatekeeping then, but side issue. And his adjunct was with him and said, we got better surveillance than the feds. We've got... And Aceveda's like, be quiet, don't you tell him. I'm like, I already know, Aceveda. You got laser couplers that listen to people through their window. You got microphones in most of the street lamps and hidden transformers and systems. I know all about it. And he's like, how do you know this stuff, basically? I want to get him in here, okay? Because, look, I can see, I got the sunglasses. I'm not stupid. This is beyond 1984. And it's not being done by a government that's legitimate or that cares about us. I'm going to be breaking that down today as well. Now, we're also going to get into the huge developments on the Iran front. We're going to get into developments on the economic front. Oh, and by the way, coming up at 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern, I'll still be talking on the internet. But XM, AM, FM, global shortwave, UHF, VHF, all systems, including cable, are going to have the government pop in. And I need to call Watson, one of the other writers, and go back to Federal News Radio. They had Homeland Security on there when this first got announced 6 months ago. And we covered it on the news at the time. And they said Obama is going to have a message. And it was going to be like a 30-minute message, but now they've backed off of that. And Drudge has got a report where Big Sis is saying, don't worry, it's just a test. The point is, It's a test where the stations don't have a choice. We'll be right back. Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones. I'm looking for people that have the wisdom to spot savings, opportunity, and recognize risk. Saving means to make money. The Cal Ben Pure Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated and twice as good as what you're using now. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils that contain no useless dyes, perfumes, deodorants, or antibacterials. Your risk is the hundreds of hazardous toxic detergents that give you rashes, itching sores, and deteriorating clothing called lint. If you want something better, if you want something you've never had before, you have to do something you've never done before. Getting a free catalog is easy by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. Take charge of your health now by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. Alex Jones here with vital information concerning our nation's fragile food supply. Folks, there are some truly dangerous trends forming, and I think it's important for my listeners to do three things right away. Number one, study the past. History really does repeat itself. Number two, learn to spot the dangerous food shortage trends. Number three, take decisive action. A perfect storm is brewing for a global food crisis. That's why I'm telling everyone to read the new book, Rising Prices, Empty Shelves. Warning signs that trigger the deadliest famines in history. Don't get caught unprepared when the crisis hits. This book is only available at risingpricesemptyshelves.com. You'll also get a free copy of Supermarket Survival, How to Cut Your Grocery Bills in Half. Again, that website is risingpricesemptyshelves.com. That's risingpricesemptyshelves.com.
You've heard Alex explain how the Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced colloidal silver solutions, yet many are unaware of the entire function of the Silver Lungs system and how it has been designed to deliver your silver solutions anywhere in or on the body. My name is Mario Cifaldi, and I'm the developer of the Silver Lungs generator. Not only does the Silver Lungs system produce endless colloidal and ionic silver solutions, it also comes equipped with the proper applicators and devices needed to deliver your silver solutions directly to key target areas. This includes the eyes, ears, nose, lungs, topically to the skin, and orally for the digestive system. Be sure to watch our new 7-minute video tour of the Silver Lungs system at www.silverlungs.com to learn more about how the Silver Lungs system works. As well, we are always ready to answer any questions you may have. That's www.silverlungs.com.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday, the 9th day of November 2011. Dr. Paul Craig Roberts is joining us on the economy. Former Libertarian presidential nominee Michael Badnarik, who hadn't been on a while, will also be joining us to talk about world events and take your phone calls. I'm going to open the phones up throughout the 3 hours today on any of the news items I'm about to mention or any stories or questions or comments you have. But before I give the number out, let me just go over some of the news. American newspapers, as well as British, are running the headlines. Don't panic. FEMA urges Americans not to worry as national alert system is tested. Now, Federal News Radio, interviewing the deputy head of Homeland Security 6 months ago, we first read articles about it then, said that Obama was going to be on for 30 minutes making announcements today, and that he would officially be there testing it, and it was going to be a longer message. Then they said, okay, people are getting angry, it'll be 10 minutes. Then it'll be 1 minute. And now it's going to be 30 seconds. I told you in 96, I told you in 2000, I told you in 2003. I know people high up in the Texas Association of Broadcasters. I know engineers. I know an engineer who was the head of it. He's actually dead now. And he's an old guy. God rest his soul. The point is, who were in the meetings with the feds when the Telecommunications Act passed, and they came in over the next year, and they told them what was already in there. The cell phones are being listened to and tracked. You've got to wire the EAS systems in at your tower site and at your control site where you have your board ops and talk show host, and you'll lose your license and maybe even get arrested if you don't do this. And in the future, we are going to have government break-ins with public service announcements and also people that are wanted. The local police threat fusion center will be in command of it, so it'll sound like a local announcement. And these owners, managers, engineers at these different meetings are sitting there with their mouths hanging open. What was it? 1260 a.m. for a while. I was broadcasting out of there back when they were talking, also filling in for their afternoon host sometimes. And their engineer talked to me about it there. But separately, other engineers, when I was at KJFK, then I got introduced, went to dinner with the engineer and the head engineer for the whole state and talked about it. And, they wanted to tell me about this. That's why I knew about it. But it's just like Bill Clinton, and I'm going to play clips this later in the show from Police State 2000, in a federal transportation policy change said move towards hardened and roving checkpoints at internal checkpoints nationwide under a national ID card. That was in 1998. I put it in my film with the documents, Police State 2000. And people always comment on YouTube, oh, look, the checkpoints didn't come like Alex said. I didn't say that. I show the orders. I show the executive fiat directives. And it takes time for them to get this stuff in place, but now it's coming. It's here. Now they're announcing all over the country, FEMA, Homeland Security, TSA run checkpoints. It's all over the news now. It took them a long time, but the point is they were getting ready, getting geared up a long time ago. I mean, in the late 90s, I went to urban warfare drill after drill and witnessed Marines training to go door to door and take our guns and admit it was for America, and I'd show people the video. And back then, you weren't supposed to see that. And so I got threats from the military. All sorts of stuff went on. The public wasn't ready, so they said, this must be fake. Again, the Coronado landing, hovercraft landing, troops taking over part of Oakland, foreign troops. Rick Linklater said he had people tell him it must be fake when he gave him copies of Police State 2000. And he laughed and said, this would cost me, 25, 30, 40, $50 million to do this, to show ships like this landing. And again, it was real places. It was news articles on top of it showing it was real, but people were in denial. Now there's been the preconditioning, so they go, sure, I told folks 13 years ago they were putting microphones